too. What's today's program about?
It's about animals that drink a lot, lots and lots, and others that hardly drink anything at all.
Thirsty animals.
Exactly. We'll see the thirstiest animals getting water in the most efficient ways, and the strangest strategies that animals use.
To drink.
That's right. Until recently, some people believed koalas didn't drink anything at all. On the other hand, an elephant needs 200 liters of water.
Every day?
Drinking is really dangerous for an ant.
Really?
While the chicks of certain birds get water from a sponge.
What?
And in order to drink without using their lips like monkeys do, felines have their own techniques.
With their tongue?
Yes, like certain geckos, which also use their tail like camels use their hump.
Really?
You'll see. At number 10 among the thirsty animals, we've got the ant.
Do ants drink a lot or only a little?
In reality, they drink very little. Just a few drops of water fill up a huge number of ants.
That's convenient.
But they can get into trouble when they drink.
What kind of trouble?
Well, large animals drink from puddles or a river, but very little animals have to drink from raindrops or dewdrops on stones or leaves, and that can be dangerous.
Drinking can be dangerous?
If you're small, it can be deadly.
Wow.
Ants are tiny, and to get liquid, they have to break what's called the surface tension of the water drops.
The what? What tension?
Well, it's what allows each raindrop to keep its round shape, like a ball. And as raindrops are bigger than an ant's whole body, well, they run the risk of drowning if they get trapped inside one.
Ah, of course. They don't have anything to lean on.
That's right. For them, water is like a semi-liquid gelatin.
Really? Amazing.
But this doesn't happen to all insects. Larger insects don't fit inside a drop of water, and so they can't drown. Raindrops are always the same size, more or less, but animals aren't. A mantis drinks 2 or 3 drops all by itself, while several ants can drink from just one.
The whole anthill would have enough with 1 liter.
Yes, and when an ant has had enough, it also takes a little bit more to share with its cousins.
That's great. My brothers hide the breakfast cereals from me.
At number 9, the koala. Koala, in the ancient Australian language, means the one that doesn't drink.
Koalas don't drink anything? No way.
Australia's Aborigines observed that koalas almost never climb down from the trees, and that's why they thought they didn't need to drink.
So, do they drink or don't they?
Koalas are probably one of the animals that drink the least, but they have to because they live in places where it rains very little, so it's very dry.
So they do drink?
Yes, of course, but only when it rains during the extremely short rainy season. Then they take advantage of the rain to lick drops off the leaves and water that runs down the tree trunks.
Okay, but what do they do the rest of the year?
For months, they have to make do with the little liquid inside the leaves of the eucalyptus trees.
They look pretty hard and dry to me.
Because they are. Plus, if you bit one of these leaves, it would taste terrible to you. I mean, really bitter.
The truth is, it wouldn't ever have occurred to me to do that.
Good, because eucalyptus leaves are very toxic for most animals.
Is that why they taste so bad?
Of course, so that nobody eats them. But look at that. It's the koala's favorite dish. Favorite and only. Koalas only eat and drink eucalyptus leaves.
Boring.
They don't have a choice. But by chewing a lot, they get up to 80% of the liquid they need.
Hey, do koalas take baths?
They don't bathe in water. That would be a waste. But you know what? Even though they're a little dirty, they smell like eucalyptus cough drops.
I can't believe that.
Well, it's true. At number 8, the stork. Storks are nidiculous birds.
Ridiculous birds?
No, nidiculous. It means that their chicks can't leave the nest as soon as they're born because they don't yet know how to fly and would fall and kill themselves from up so high.
Okay, so they're not crazy.
Other chicks do jump out of their nests, but they depend on their parents for everything.
So how long do they take to learn?
About 3 months, more or less. And meanwhile, the adults have to bring food and water to the nest every day.
That's a lot of work.
And as the chicks gradually grow up, they need more and more. and the work multiplies.
And they bring it all in that really long beak?
No, they're not like pelicans. They fill up their crop.
Their crop? It sounds like they're growing plants in their throats.
The crop is a sort of pouch they have in their throats, and that's where they put all the food and up to a liter of water on each trip to the nest.
Without resting?
Well, not exactly. Sometimes the chicks have to wait for hours under the sun.
Wow, because in the summer it gets really hot here.
Occasionally, they literally water their children. They try to pour the water into each one's stomach in the fairest and evenest way possible. But sometimes, with so many long beaks and so much moving around, the drinking sort of turns into showering, although that also cools them off.
But if they're not careful, their mother will skewer them with her beak.
And at number 7, the caracal.
Wow, it's pretty. It's called a caracal?
Yep, it's a very elegant cat that lives on the savanna and in the desert, in places where there is very little water. But it's very well adapted to these tough conditions and can go several days without drinking any water.
As long as camels?
Well, as long as it catches something, of course. They eat the flesh of their prey, and they also drink their blood.
That way they need less liquid?
That's right. You know, felines have a very curious way of drinking. It's unique, really. It looks the same as how wolves or bears drink, but it's quite different. First, these animals fold their tongues backwards in the shape of a hook, not a spoon, to push the water instead of scooping it up. And then they slap the surface of the water with their tongue very quickly.
This is in slow motion, so we can see it better, right?
Exactly. So we can see really well their strange drinking technique. By the way, a scientist just discovered it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we thought they drank like most animals, by licking. But as you can see, the caracal rhythmically pushes the water repeatedly with its tongue. And thanks to the surface tension, it forms a column of liquid that rises up to its mouth. It doesn't lick the water because felines don't have cheeks where they could store it.
So they drink by hitting it with their tongue?
Yes, indeed. Well put. At number 6, the sand grouse. The sand grouse is a steppe bird.
You mean it lives on the steppes?
That's right. And it isn't easy to find fresh water on the steppes either.
That's what I figured.
Sometimes they have to fly more than 30 kilometers to reach the closest pond. And these birds need to drink every day because they eat hard, dry seeds that aren't the least bit juicy.
Like eating rice without cooking it first. Yuck.
And that makes you very thirsty. Plus, the long distance to water is an added problem if you're a female and you're incubating your eggs and can't leave them. Or if you're a chick that doesn't know how to fly yet.
So how do they get water then?
Well, as they live in mating pairs, while the female is far away brooding her eggs or taking care of the chicks, the male handles everything.
For once, the male takes care of something.
Right. Curiously, sand grouse always go to drink 3 hours after the sun comes up.
Talk about punctuality.
I think they do that for safety reasons. But this male sand grouse wasn't only drawn here because he was thirsty. Now he's wetting the feathers on his breast and soaking them as much as he can. He's a great dad.
I don't see what taking a bath and being clean have to do with being a great dad.
He's not taking a bath. His feathers work like a sponge. And he can carry about 40 milliliters of water that way, which is about half a glass, just enough to satisfy the females and the chicks' thirst.
That sand grouse is a flying bottle.
I guess you're right. And at number 5, the African buffalo.
A buffalo drinks a lot?
Well, it's one of the species that consumes the most water of all the animals on the African savanna.
You mean all of them together, don't you?
Yes, but individually too. Some of the biggest ones weigh more than a ton. And on top of that, they like the company of their peers.
In a group, they feel more protected, right?
Of course. That way, hyenas and lions have a harder time hunting buffalo. They can form herds with several thousand members.
Holy cow!
Yeah. And those immense super herds have to move constantly in search of fresh grass. But they only eat at sundown, when it's not so hot. During the day, they walk to the rivers and ponds to drink water. Buffaloes never wander more than 15 kilometers away from where there's water.
Interesting. But how much does each one drink?
About 100 liters each every day.
Wow, I can't even drink 2 liters.
They drink so much because they're ruminants, and to be able to digest all the grass they eat, they have to produce close to 80 liters of saliva a day. It's a good thing they swallow it.
Yeah, and that they don't spit at anybody. They could drown him. Can you imagine 80 liters of spit? And you're covered with slop.
Ew. Moving on to number 4, the giraffe. Giraffes can eat the leaves on the highest branches of any tree. That's why they have that extra long neck.
Everybody knows that.
But what most people don't know is that their necks are also a problem that's as big as they are long. To pump blood all the way up to their brain, they need a heart that weighs 10 kilos.
That's as much as my dog.
That's because you need an awful lot of pumping power to move liquids through a pipe.
But what does that have to do with being thirsty?
Well, when they're going to drink, they lower their heads. And then they have to prevent the blood from damaging their brains with all that pressure. Like when you stand on your head, but multiplied by 100.
Their heads could explode.
Or their arteries. But they have special valves that control that tremendous pressure. Anyway, the point is, they have to get blood to their brains, but they also have to get water to their stomachs.
And they need a lot of power to do that too, right?
Exactly. When they drink, they act like pumps that suck up water and fill their throats, where there's another valve, the epiglottis.
The epiglottis.
Yep, it's like a stopper that keeps the water in the esophagus. When its throat is full, the giraffe simply raises its head and all that water runs down into its stomach, like down a slide at a water park.
They're a little sloppy, huh?
Yeah, but you try swallowing 40 liters of water in one go and upside down.
What a crazy way to drink water.
At number 3, the baboon.
He's a cousin of ours, right?
Yes, a distant cousin. Baboons are very tough characters that live in the driest deserts, like the Kalahari.
Where the Bushmen live?
Exactly. But you know what? They can withstand dry conditions much, much better than humans can. They can go almost a whole month without water, almost like a camel. We would die in a couple of days, or 3 at the most.
Compared to them, we're wimps.
On the other hand, we're a lot alike because we both use the same tool to survive out there.
Our lips?
And our intelligence. Whenever they can, baboons look for some place where there's shade or where a breeze is blowing to stay cool and not sweat, and so save as much of the water in their bodies as they can. They even change their diet in the driest season of the year to be able to go even longer without drinking.
Do they only eat fruits and plants that are juicy?
Yes, and insects, which is much better than eating hard seeds.
I love salad. Insects, not so much.
Like us, baboons are able to memorize things and remember where there is water in their territory. They have secret drinking spots that only the members of each clan know. And we're also similar in the way we drink. We sip with our lips.
I thought everybody drank by taking sips.
No. In reality, very few animals drink like that.
Ah.
In the driest seasons, the little water that's available sometimes fills up with microbes that could make them sick. So then, they don't drink directly from the puddle. Instead, they dig little holes near the edge of the puddle and wait for them to fill up with filtered water.
Like a hole in the sand at the beach.
That's right. Phew. It's getting hotter and hotter here.
Yeah, but they're having a blast.
Because baboons are like us in that they know how to use water to have fun and cool off. At number 2, the elephant. It's the animal that needs the most water.
More than whales?
Whales don't drink seawater. The elephant is the biggest drinker of all the animals and is able to gulp down up to 225 liters of water at one go.
Like a bathtub that's full up to the top.
And they really like clean water, if they can choose, of course. And sometimes they have to walk more than 300 kilometers in search of it.
Now that's a long walk.
It takes longer than a week. To find water, they use their memory, their sense of smell, which lets them detect it up to 20 kilometers away, and above all, they tell each other where it is using ultrasounds.
This is how they say where water is.
A lot like that, yeah. To drink, they use their trunks, which are more than 2 meters long when they're fully stretched out. But they don't drink through them.
Oh no? They don't use them like super straws?
Nope. What they do is suck up water to fill their trunks, and then they lift their trunks and blow the water into their mouths.
Ah, like what giraffes do.
Yeah, they can drink up to 15 liters each time they fill their trunk. And thanks to the 40,000 muscles that form their tube-like nose, and thanks to their power lungs, which are attached to their diaphragm, they manage to fill and empty their nose hose without losing more than a few drops along the way.
Yeah, I see they lose a little bit of water.
When you watch the adults, the system may look easy, but it's not. Young elephants take 2 years to learn how to drink with their trunks.
And if they catch a cold, do they drink their snot?
I don't know. I've never seen an elephant with a cold. And at number 1, the common leopard gecko.
A gecko? Is it an amphibian or a reptile?
Its skin is a little strange, yes, but it's a reptile, and it drinks in part using its skin.
It absorbs water?
Not exactly. In the desert, lots of reptiles use their scales like tiles on the roof of a house to lead the water from the rain or the morning dew to their mouths.
No way. They use their bodies to collect water?
That's the idea. And geckos don't have eyelids, so they also use the corneas of their enormous eyes to collect big drops of water and then drink them with their tongues.
On this scale, that drop is like a big glass of water.
Puddles are rarely formed here because water quickly drains into the ground or evaporates. And since there are very few plants, an eye is one of the few places where they can get clean water.
It's like a windshield wiper. What a cool system.
Wait, there's even more. The common leopard gecko should really be called the camel gecko. It also drinks its own fat.
Like a camel drinks from its hump?
Exactly. But at most, a camel stores about 15% of its body weight in its hump, while the tail of a leopard gecko can hold almost 1/3 of its total body weight.
That's a humongous tail. It's even hard for her to move.
Yeah, but that water deposit is what makes it possible for her to live here. Hers is one of the most unusual and efficient ways to drink on the planet, turning solid fat into liquid. When she liquefies her reserves, each gram of fat mixed with her breath is multiplied by 5 or even more. It's what we call metabolic water.
That's awesome. Hey, why don't we get something to drink?
Yeah, I'm getting thirsty now too.
Until the next Top Zoo.